back to my channel. I think this might be the first time I've ever filmed a video with my hair up, you know? I just feel like my head is just like an egg. I don't even know. Anyway, it's probably just me that would even think that, but I am filming this video. It's going up a little bit later than I originally planned, but we're filming it, it's going up, it's happening. It's gonna happen. Basically, as you know from the title and thumbnail of the picture, we are doing a little book review. I want to keep it quite short and quite simple just so that you get the gist of all of the books, because I don't want to just blab on about loads of books and bore you all to death. So let's get in with it. Fangirl is the first one I'm going to talk about. This is the last one that I actually read. I literally finished the last page as my plane hit the floor. I'm not even joking. The plane hit the floor as I finished the last page when we landed back home. That is how, like, kind of, I wasn't on holiday, kind of, I still was on holiday when I finished the book. Anyway, this book I actually really enjoyed. I actually thought this was going to be my least favourite, but I did really like it. It's basically about two sisters who are twins. They go to uni. One does like fan fiction. She has a massive following. The other one wants to, she doesn't really want to be tied down to her sister anymore, and she wants to go and have her own life and meet boys and party, and she gets herself into a bit of trouble sometimes, whereas she is very quiet and innocent, you know, likes to stay in her room, doesn't want to go and talk to people. And it's basically all about how they cope in university together. Relationships happen and things with their parents, like relationships with their parents, and it's just really good. It's just like a really nice read. Plus there's also extracts from all of like the fan fiction that she's writing. You get extracts of that in here after every chapter, which I thought was quite interesting as well. So you kind of get to know what she's a fan of and what she's writing about. So a really good book, and I really enjoyed reading this one a lot more than I thought I would. It's just like a really nice, book, that one. Anyway, moving on to the next one, Holding Up the Universe. This was such a good book. It is based with two characters. Each chapter is a different character, so they alternate between the two characters, Jack and Libby, I believe it was. Libby and Jack, yeah, I was right, I remembered it, woo. And this is about Libby, who used to be the world's fattest American teenager, and Jack can't recognize people's faces. There's a word for it, but I don't think it says it on the back, and I cannot remember what it was. But he has a disability where he can't recognize people's faces, so he doesn't know what his mum looks like. He'll see his mum and not recognize her, and he hasn't told anyone, and he has these little ways of knowing who people are, but it gets him in a bit of trouble because he doesn't recognize people. He has a girlfriend that he doesn't recognize, and literally no one knows, and Libby is the first person he tells it to. It's basically really good because their stories intertwine, and it's just really sweet book. There's relationships and things in there as well, and it's just really nice how the stories intertwine with each other, either side. Moving on to Beautiful Broken Things. As you can tell, this book is kind of completely destroyed. If you don't watch my vlogs, then you might not know, but I took it to the pool with me, left it in a puddle by accident, and it soaked through the bag into the book, and literally the whole book was full of water. It was like a sponge. It was so weird, so I had to dry it out for a few days. But this was an extremely good book. This is basically all about like female friendships and how your best friend gets another friend and how that happens and how you feel about it, and it's all like, it's basically just like teenage girls' friendships, and it's really good. I don't want to spoil anything from any of these books. It's so difficult to explain it without spoiling what it is, but really good book. Teenage friendships, there's like trouble in with it and overcoming fears, and it was a really good book. And I love the cover. Like, how can you not want to buy this book when it has this cover? I mean, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. Right, the next one is The Little Kiosk by the Sea. This is a really cute book. I read this one really quite quickly actually, and it has, again, each chapter, I'm pretty sure it was each chapter, was a different, yeah, each chapter is a different person's point of view, and again I love how all of the stories are intertwined. Adorable, basically, just adorable. All about loads of relationships, friendships, families. I don't really know how else to like describe it, but I did really like it, and it was a really good book. I mean, nearly all of these books I thoroughly enjoyed, so it's kind of hard to do like a review on them because I like them all. I'll rate them all 1 out of 5 at the end. That'll be a better review, won't it? But yeah, this one was really good. It's really sweet, really nice how all the stories intertwine. Kind of hard to keep up with all the different storylines, but it is good. And there's like a lot to it because there's so many different storylines. There's a lot going on in it, which was actually really good, which I didn't think I'd like. Next book, Then Now Always. I absolutely love this author, Isabel Broom. I've read 2 out of the 3 books in this series now. I really want to read the last one, but this was set in Spain. So nice when you're on holiday and you're reading about someone being in a hot country as well. It's about love and friendship and just so nice. Basically they work for like a media company, and she gets to go and be on the shoot of this new advertisement almost for the place that they're staying at, because she used to go there as a child, so she recommended it to be the next sort of like documentary place, and she finds people that she used to know from when she was younger and used to go there as a child, and it's just really nice. It's just a really like nice heartwarming book, and I loved it. And it's also got some good romancy bits in there. I don't know how to describe it. Right, the last one, The Summer House by the Sea. This was the first one I read, and to be honest, I could not get into it. I was over halfway until I actually started to really enjoy it and get into it. And this again, this is about, I believe, someone goes to Spain, set in Spain again, because her grandmother's died, and she takes the house, she goes to the house to clear it, but she wants to stay there for like some of summer and use it. And her brother doesn't want her to, and then she meets people there and they're all lovely and they all know her grandma, and then there's this boy who lives across the road, and then she like gets close to him, and then her brother comes back out into Spain as well. And I don't know if I've just said too much about it, but it's really nice about romance, family, relationships as well, and again a lovely summer read for when you're out on holiday somewhere and you just want an easy, nice read. But I'm gonna start rating them now. I'm gonna give this one quite a low 2 out of 5, just because I did end up enjoying it, but it took me a while to enjoy it. I don't know whether that was because it was my first book I read on holiday or not, but it just took me a while to enjoy it. So a 2 out of 5 for that. 2.5 out of 5 actually. 2.5 out of 5. Right, this one I'm gonna give a strong 4 out of 5 because I just really enjoyed it. The only reason why it's not a 5 out of 5, probably for all of these, is I just hate the endings of books. I'm never satisfied by endings of books. I don't know whether I'm just hard to please, but I just never feel like they've fulfilled what I want them to by the end of the book. I don't know. 4 out of 5 though. This one I'm gonna give a 3 out of 5. It was good, there was a lot going on in it, but I feel like because it's so short and you get so many different storylines, it's almost like it wasn't like a very interesting plot. Does that make sense? I don't know, it just didn't really go anywhere, but it was still a good book. 3 out of 5. Is that what I said about it? Yeah, 3 out of 5. This one I am gonna give 4 out of 5. I read it so quickly, I really enjoyed it. All about, I could relate to it so much with the teenage girl drama, and it was just really well written, and I just loved it. I was just lost in this book, and because of how well written it was and because of how well I could relate to it, I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. So a 4 out of 5 for this one. This one I think I'm actually going to give 5 out of 5. I read this in less than 24 hours. That is how good this book was. 5 out of 5. So easy to read, so well written, such an interesting story, something that's so different, and it was really interesting to learn about how she coped with being the fattest girl and how he copes with his illness that he's got, and I just really enjoyed it. In less than 24 hours this book was read. 5 out of 5 definitely. And this one I am going to give 4 out of 5 because I was so pleasantly surprised by it. And I think this one was the one that I actually thought the ending was okay. Oh no, I think that was Holding Up the Universe actually. This one again, I was disappointed with the ending. pretty sure I was. But again, I could relate to it going to uni, that I could relate to both the characters on different levels. They're both like two extremes and I'm sort of in the middle, so I could relate to both, and that was always nice to be able to relate to a character. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Good read. I recommend all of these books really, but obviously each one's different for different things. My favourite was definitely this one. So if you're going to read any of the books that I've shown you, I would say this one, because I'd say this one is something for everyone as well. It's not like really romancy, it's not really like, it's not really anything, I don't know. It's got a bit more of a meaning to it, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, is the author of All the Bright Places, which I read last year, and that is also an extremely good book, so I recommend reading that as well if you like this one, if you read this one and like it. But yeah, that is all of the books. Hopefully I got through that fairly quickly so that I don't bore you all to death, and hopefully that was moderately helpful if you are thinking of buying a book to read. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it either way, whether you just enjoyed listening about these books or whether you're actually going to go away and buy one of these books. Hopefully it's been helpful. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new or just haven't subscribed yet, and there's also the notification button next to the subscribe button, which means you'll be notified every single time I upload, which is every week on this channel. There are links in the description to last Sunday's video as well as my vlogging channel, because I vlog every single day over there, and also all of my social media links are in the description as well if you want to check out any of those. And I will see you lovely people next week with another video. Bye!